Hey friends, just unplugging the big fan. So today I have a deck getting picked up, and I was sitting here just literally waiting for paint to dry on these decks here. It's just a group of 5. I installed a fan in the floor here, and it pulls everything down. You see guys, you're looking down. I have 2 levels here. I can shoot 10 at a time easily here, and I've been thinking about all kinds of different logistics. In my old workshop, I could shoot, I could shoot like 20 decks at a time in my little space. I still have 1-2 decks left to shoot today. This one hasn't been purchased yet. I made this one just on a lark. It is a long version of the Knucklehead. I made this super long Knucklehead. It's got a 16-inch wheelbase, maybe longer. It looks like a 17.25-inch wheelbase on there. Hey everybody, good to see you, Kevin and Buddy. Thanks for joining me here. Anyway, I just have one more deck left. This is Dave Tomaszewski's. It's a ditch dagger, custom width and wheelbase on that one. And what am I looking at here? What am I looking at? The top still has a pencil line on it, and that's just going to have to be fine. Do you guys mind if you get a pencil line on your boards? I don't think you should mind at all. I would feel like that's a sign that it was made. Howard, this knuckle is here for you, buddy. I can actually have it shipped out. I have a box going to Ren. It's sitting over there right now. I've got boxes over there. And I just got Whitney Pendergraph just subscribed to my YouTube channel. All these videos are going on YouTube. So you're in the back corner here. Sometimes when you guys are looking at me, I think it's nice to give you a feeling. So this is where you guys usually are, right? And that's the drill bench. There's the front door, and here's the drill bench. And then that's the back corner there. And in the back corner, let me go back here. Got Bryce's deck right here, and these have all been top shot. 2 layers on the tops, and you also have grip tape on the top of your decks, so the tops are shot, and then the bottoms get about 4 layers. I put a nice thick bead on there. I use very cheap guns. My friend David is the you guys know my friend David, the blind carpenter. He is a cabinet maker in Kentucky, and we've been friends for 30 years. And he has some sort of macular degeneration that's genetic, and runs in his family. And he is an amazing cabinet maker, and he has a talking tape measure, and his kids work with him. They are amazing kids. They're adults, and they do terrific work in the cabinet field. Why did I bring up my friend David Life at Life Custom Woodworking? Because he has really good guns. He's got a pressure pot and a high volume, low pressure system. I use a regular compressor and cheap guns. And one reason why I'm committed to using cheap technology is because in order to promote this, we need to start with lo-fi and see how much could you do if you had lo-fi tools. Hey, look what's parked outside. Can you guys see it? I'm going to touch the screen and see if you guys. There it is. There's my buddy out there, old Lowdown Freedom. I rode over here today, and I'm enjoying the work in here, and very happy to be here. But I am going to ride out later today, and like that. Anyway, I've been in some really cool conversations. You guys can imagine the kind of conversations I have with some other board makers who are wanting to build up their own laminate workshops. And that's what Midwest Blue Collar, my bigger mission is to get people making great laminate. But today's main focus is, before this gets picked up, I made this deck, and I just love it. I love it. This is not a make of the day because I didn't make it today. I made it just a couple days ago. I just want to give you guys a good look at it. I love the color of the maple here. I just love when maple does these colors. A lot of times those will be put in the middle of a board, but I usually bring out those pieces, and it's got awesome wood grain. Guys, this is the graphic I love, is the wood grain. Look at that thing. Look at that thing. Goodness gracious, it's so beautiful. And switched from spraying the tails and putting a burn on the noses to we now have a screen for the tails, and I like that a lot too. But this is a big old pig, and it's heading out today. The owner of this board is arriving here shortly to pick it up, and I'm going to just give you guys the details on it. Let me park you in your normal spot. So, starting to get a feel for this area also as a broadcasting studio. I love talking to all you guys so much, and it really is life-giving to me to be able to share this craft with all of you guys. Anyway, talking to other folks about building their workshops has got me so excited, because I think the best future we have is in independent makers just making awesome skateboards. Prices are rising everywhere, so the little bit more you pay for a great board from someone who guarantees it, ask any of my customers. If their board's not right, I make it right, because this thing is 10.5 inches wide. It's got, I thought it had 10-inch truck beds, and I've got it on 215s. And the truck bed is 10 inches at the center of the wheel. I don't know, man. I'm looking at more like a 9.75 back here. Sorry, I make enough boards that I don't always remember everything. All right, but it's like a 9.75 back here, and these 215s are actually covered by it. I thought 215s were a 10-inch wide truck. This is what's going on in my brain right now. Oh, Buddy Boyer, thank you so much for chiming in. I wish on the YouTubes that people could see the things you guys are writing, but they can't. Buddy writes, ask me, I've been skating mine hard and it's still going strong. I'll need to stop by sometime and buy another soon. And boy, do I want you to, because Buddy, you are a cool dude. And known Buddy for years, since he was a kid, and now he's a grown-ass man. And so good to hear from you, Buddy. Anyway, this whole thing has me curious. Oh, I just got a low power notification. Buddy does beat the hell out of his boards. Buddy, go post up a fresh clip or repost an old clip of you skating so people can see what kind of abuse these decks take on a daily basis from you. Because I think it's outstanding just to watch. I'm going to measure these 215 trucks. You guys ever notice the exact width of things isn't always as you thought it was? So I'm measuring the width of these trucks. Well, all right, technically the axle tips are 10 inches. But I think you can see that the engineered depth of the wheel, these wheels are flush. The engineered depth of the bearing seat puts you in quite a bit. See that? That's like a 10. It's like almost 1/8 of an inch there, and then there's a whole other thread to a full 1/8 of an inch here, and that's almost a 1/4 inch narrower wheel side to wheel side. So your 10-inch wide independent 215s are actually a 9.75, 9.8 inch wide setup. I just learned that with you guys right here, and it's enough to make me wave a Taylor's tape at you. It's a Taylor's tape. I love Taylor tapes for this. So anyway, this customer is coming by to pick up this board, and sure enough, I'm flush on the rear truck and well within on the front truck, which is what I like. I just don't like monster trucking the wheels outside. Want to hear a funny story? My son was 10 years old, my firstborn son. You guys know that my family is a little bit blended. So I've got an oldest son, Marcus. He is Polynesian. He is Samoan. His dad was a full-blooded Samoan man, and Marcus is 50% blood quantum Samoan. And Marcus is the big Polynesian kid. Lots of people think he's black. I'm totally into it. In fact, Marcus came to live with us at 13 years old, and by the time he was 15, he was our kid. And we were his guardians, and since then he's changed his name, and he is a Ross. He is my son, and I mean it for life. And Marcus is our son, but I thought that Marcus was black for the first probably 3 years that he lived with us, until I got to really learn about his family. And he's my newest son, and he is my eldest son. But my firstborn son is Aaron. Aaron is like 6'2", 250-pound Dutch boy. My sons, my two native-born sons are Dutch-looking kids. Judy is Dutch, and so my kids came out. They came out big. My youngest is 6 feet tall and 210 pounds, and he learned how to ride a motorcycle this week, and he's riding my Sportster around right now. So pray for us. But the funny story is my firstborn son was 10 years old, and he got on a board with monster truck wheels. It was a Sector 9, kind of a slalom-y longboard. It was one of those deals and I told him not to ride it because he was 10 and he wasn't really good at pushing. And does he push Mongo? I think he might have been pushing Mongo back then. I'm not sure. He's ambidextrous, so he pushes Mongo, he pushes regular switch, he ollies switch, and he can 180 fakie nollie over anything, but can only ollie up some things. And this is neurological, and I'm fascinated by it. But my firstborn son, Aaron, I said, don't ride that board. You're going to get broke off on it. Went inside the house. We were in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, visiting with some friends. And one of the daughters comes in and says, your son just broke both his arms. And I just sort of shrugged and got up from the chair and walked out. And sure enough, Aaron had broken. He didn't know it. He thought he'd broken the left one. And he was a little bit in shock, and he was standing in front of me. And I was not pissed because, listen, I've been this kid's dad for 10 years at this point, and I knew what he was like, and I love him. I knew that he would ride it, and I knew he'd get broke off too. And the address to mail things to Fickle Boards, I will PM you the address if you're asking me for the address. I'll get to that, Kevin. Thanks. So he was digging around in his pocket. I don't remember what he was looking for, but he was digging around in his pocket with a broken arm that he didn't know he had broken. And he said, Dad, I broke my arm. I broke my arm. I broke both my arms. And it was just so funny. I laughed because I knew he was going to be fine. You know, it's all right. Those ulnar fractures, if you just break the ulna and were they radial? Darn it, the ulna's the little one. He broke the big one on both hands. This one here. I think it's the radius. And he could. Edward Pigeon. Yeah, I had to wipe his butt for a long time after that. I had to help him shower, wipe his butt. And for some reason, it was my duty to do that too. But you know what? When you're a dad, you don't care. In fact, I have to tell you guys that when the shit hits the fan and you are in it with people and they need your help, there's a certain joy that you get. That's not just a sadistic, like, whoa, I'm glad it's not me, type of thing. But like, man, I know that when I'm old, I'm going to need a lot of help. I'm only 44 right now, but I already can feel the decline of my of my energy and my strength. And in another 15 years, I'm going to be 60. That's not far away in terms of how I think about life. So anyway, and I'm stoked about knowing that and realizing that, the relationships that we have with the people in our lives are worth the trouble to maintain and deepen and develop. And Tommy Story, have a great skate. Good to see you on here. And I'm saying that because what I have is not an irrational fear of monster truck wheels. It's not at all. I have always loved when the wheels are flush on Primo. In fact, if I can, let me just grab something really quick. I do this all the time, and people kind of make fun of me. It's definitely not in vogue. This is my present rider. Look at this. I've got a truck bed. These are Indy 159s, which are technically 8.75 wide. And the deck is, at the truck beds, the deck is, I think it's a full 10 inches at the truck beds here. Let's see. Yeah, this one is 10 1/8, and this one is 10 1/4. So I've got 10 1/4 inch deck on 8 3/4 inch wheels, trucks, and I love it because it jigs around and is very maneuverable. It bites light. If you look at my wheel bites, I ride my trucks pretty loose. My wheel bites are very, very light and really far in too. Let me just see something. Yeah, these are biting symmetrically. I love when the bite is symmetrical. These are too. It bites light, and it works real well. And I'm not trying to popularize it or anything. It's just the way I like to ride my setups. But I really like it that, man, you can just hit it, go. What should I just do it? You can just go, boom, boom. Don't you ever do this, Boss Rutan. You can just go for it on the deck like that. You're never gonna hook a wheel because you're monster trucking, and I love that. So today's deck out the door. Guy coming to pick it up here any second now is a big old pig. This is a big old pig on 215s. Here you go. Big old pig on 215s. And let's see what the tails and everything are on this. So tail 7.5. Nose is 6 7/8. Rear truck bed, once again, is 9 3/4. Front truck bed is 10 1/4. And the wheelbase on it is 16 and let's see here. 16 and 11/16. Just over 16 and a half. It's 16 and 5/8. It's 16 and 11/16. It's just over 16 and 5/8 wheelbase on it, and I love it. I'm sad to see it go today. I loved making it, and to the dear person coming to pick this up, I hope that you enjoy every push on this board, and I hope you get here soon too, because I'm not hungry or anything, but I'd like to go and get something to drink. And I've had a productive day in here. Lots of boxes are packed and lots of boards are in their final coatings. I always like this. Tomorrow's a cut day. Tomorrow I'm going to be cutting. You guys see those bins over there? One reason those bins are never full is because oh, yeah. Hey, thanks Levi Binnicker for saying you have a Punk Point you bought maybe 7 years ago. Use it as a cruiser, still looks nearly brand new. It's always nice to hear. I don't age guarantee my boards. I had a guy, he came to the shop and he bought a board from me, and it was, he bought a board at the shop, and he bought it at a big discount because he's an industry guy, and I love him. He's terrific, a terrific guy. And he stuck it in a closet for 8 months, and then when he went to skate it, it was warped. And I don't technically guarantee about that. You need to get on these boards and stomp the life out of them, and don't leave a 7-ply laminate thing around expecting it to be, perfectly perfect. That said, I shipped off to Colorado a replacement for that board, because I don't just sell you a skateboard. I'm not a purveyor of just laminate. I'm a purveyor of stoke and support for the community. I think that's the role of a board maker, is to be investing in the inspiration and stoke of their community. There's no room for the tough guy, mean guy thing in skateboarding. If you're going to be in the industry and make a contribution, you need to love people. And loving people means getting in there and suffering the slings and arrows of people. And it's worth it. Because why die lonely? See? There was a deeper theme embedded in this. Don't die lonely. The relationships you make in your life are worth the pain and the trouble of maintenance and deepening and admitting that I was wrong so many times. I'm just wrong. I'm incorrect. I have a bad attitude. I have kooky beliefs, and I just want to love you. And I love all your comments on this. I'm sad that they're lost on our YouTube feed, but you guys noticed that I have been putting these on YouTube, and I'm not going to lie. I would love it if you would subscribe to the YouTube and share it and let everybody know to go, and you can see them, because the thing about YouTube is you can tap and go 10 minutes, 10 seconds, to either side, and you can speed through some of the stuff and like that. So thank you all for spending the last few minutes with me. I really, really appreciate that we have these times together. It means more to me than I can describe, because some of this journey can feel very lonely and isolated, but it's not true, because we really are all in this thing together. So thank you. Also, have a hard skate mission coming up on Saturday to I got some really good people coming over at 11 o'clock. If you're local to me, I'd love it if you would give me a message and see if you can come. 11 o'clock, we're going to be meeting at my house, and which is just 10 blocks away from the studio. We're going to meet at my house, and then we're going to go out and skate a few different places. And I would love to see any of you that can come by. I'm also really, I've figured out I'm actually really lonely for people to skate with who are, who like me. So if you're around the area and you think you could stand to be around a guy like me, I definitely have not just a feeling, I've gotten the feedback that I'm pretty annoying to a lot of people because of my passion about industry and my passion about people. Not a Saturday, 11 o'clock, my house. We're going to start with a session on my DIY. If it's raining, we're going to move the date, because I don't ride skateboards in the rain. And I think you probably don't either. But we'll see. In fact, I'm going to check the weather while I'm talking. And then I was just about to sign off, because I should get back into what I'm doing here. Those are almost cured and ready to flip. Let's see, my hourly forecast, my 5-day forecast. Oh, my 5-day forecast is like Saturday. I don't get it. Saturday. Okay, Saturday's showing 50%. That probably means there will be some storms or something. I'm totally into it. I love the radar apps that we have now. Until that EMP goes off, we're in a digital society, and I love our radar apps that can help me figure out when we can go skate. So Thank you for saying kind words on these things. I really love the absence of weirdo trolls who think that my feed is a place for them to troll. It's really been a great last few years. And then I'm going to go and finish up some boards and pack some boxes and get some things to the post office. Thank you all. Thanks for joining me. I like you more than a friend.